Hi, music teachers. I got some questions for you, actually. Do you want an easy way to customize sheet music for students? Do you want to understand the legalities of custom arrangements in regards to copyright? Do you need the ability to create arrangements quickly and for multiple performance settings? So, have you ever tried to start doing these things, or was it really hard, or do you have any aversion to the possibility of the use of custom arrangements with your students? So, let's take a look at this. I'm going to have you make sure you watch this video to the end because you're going to discover exactly why arranging music for your students is a great idea, how to do so legally, and also maybe how to turn it into an investment. Hi, my name is Karen Yanishevsky, or you can just call me Kay for short, and I'm the owner and founder of Music Room and Uplevel You Music. Not too long ago, I was just like you. Not too long ago, maybe like 5-6 years ago. Let me tell you a quick story about a time, though even before that, when I didn't know how to arrange. I was struggling to find appropriate pieces, like appropriate level pieces for students, for them to play, for fun or for projects or performances, but pieces that they actually liked or pieces they actually requested. And I was getting more and more requests for songs and pieces that I didn't have or didn't know where to find. You see, at the time, I was trying to get students ready for their first recital. Let's go back to that story because even as recent as 5 years ago, I didn't really have a good system for getting students what they needed. But the story I want to tell you predates that by quite a bit. So my students, let's see, I was 17 years old. I was a young teacher, and I had a bunch of students that wanted to do a recital. So I was like, okay, let me put together a recital for them. And gosh, I was having some issues because they wanted to play certain things, and we just didn't have the pieces in the library to enable that to happen. They had requests, and it's like, where do I find this sheet music? This was also before a time where there was a huge, expansive library online that you could purchase and download music. But then I'd run into the issue of parents not wanting to buy a whole book or something of just one song that their students would be playing. I'm not going to get you this whole $15, $20 book just to play one song. Oh yeah, I was met with that all the time. So it meant that I couldn't teach them something they really had their heart set on and that they really wanted to play for this big moment. It was kind of upsetting for the students. And as you can imagine, I was kind of desperate, and I was definitely a bit concerned about this, and I didn't want to lose students over something like this. So I started thinking about ways to have my instruction be set apart from all the others and to actually go through with doing custom arrangements for my students. So at first, I didn't really know how to arrange music legally, and I also didn't know how to turn it into an investment. And if I couldn't do these things, should I really be arranging music? I was concerned. So I definitely started to do my homework, do my research, and at first, a long time ago, the very first time I arranged something, I was in high school also, and it was probably a little bit before this recital took place, and I was playing with viola with a couple of friends, and we were going to play this patriotic medley for a concert. And for that very first arrangement, I handwrote parts, and I do not have the best handwriting. Actually, it's hard to read sometimes, so that was kind of challenging. It worked, but not very well. I then tried the painstaking process of transcribing music also then for our trio's next performance, because YouTube didn't actually exist then. And so I had to rewind to VHS tape back and forth and try to pick out the notes and try to design harmonies for it because this music didn't exist. It was from Monty Python and the Holy Grail. I have a medley of the songs from it. It's pretty amazing. I handwrote that first, and then I learned how to use Finale. We got something out of it, but my gosh, did that take hours. And then, later on, fast forward a bunch of years, through college after college, I didn't really do as much arranging. I liked it, but I didn't really do a lot of it. But the online music scene definitely exploded, and there are more resources accessible. And then you were able to find free music that you could download. Not sure if it was legal. The rules were kind of hazy at first, and that worked a little bit better. Sometimes I was able to find things that my students needed. But then I was like, you know what, the heck with this. And the exact time it takes for me to find a piece that's going to work for the students, and then maybe make the changes so that it's what they can do, why don't I just arrange it according to what they already know, exactly for what they need. Maybe the correct length, fingerings that they know how to do. Because sometimes you wouldn't get the fingerings and the details from arrangements you found. So you know what? That worked the best. It was perfect. And it was so worth the extra time. So, yeah. So for years, I had this mindset that it was only just the print music. I had to stick to just the print music. That was the standard. Maybe my stuff wasn't good enough. I had that mindset in my head. But then I realized, no, I am my students' best advocate. I can get them the music that I know they can do, and they're going to be successful with it because it is written for their abilities. Or maybe just beyond if I wanted to teach them something through it. Perfect. I was able to break out of the chains and get the results that I was wanting and that they especially wanted. So, over time, I realized that the more you arrange, the faster you get, and that it doesn't take very long anymore, and that there's certain systems in place that you can employ to help you out, to make that even faster and faster and faster. Your first arrangement may take a while, but each one gets faster and easier, and you get so familiar that you can start putting all these tricks in place, tricks that I would be showing you in this process, and then boom, you've got an arrangement. You want to know how long it takes me to do an arrangement now? Even a fresh new one I've never done before? Under an hour. Yep. So I used what I discovered to be able to and arrange an entire piece of music in either under an hour, maybe under a half hour if I already have a source, or sometimes even in 5 minutes. If I already have it as a file on my computer, I can just rearrange it. I do it all the time. And how to sell my arrangements legally. I make a little money on the side. So it wasn't just me. I mean, you got to take a look at what arranging music to the level the student has done. So I didn't realize that when I started, it not only does simplify the process to arrange music legally and maybe turn it into an investment, but it also helps you get an easy way to customize that sheet music, to understand the legalities around those custom arrangements, and then create those arrangements quickly and for multiple performance settings. It's almost like we've got a series of different things that we go along, so that really what you create can be used for what you need it to be within the limitations of copyright law. So we go through all of that in this system. So the system is called Stress-Free Time-Saving and Money-Making Music Arranging. It's an online course. This probably took me a total of a few years to develop the system, and maybe 22 years to create, really, because I'm bringing all my experience of arranging into it. And it cost me a lot of time at first, but totally worth it, especially when I can create this easy system that takes that learning curve and takes the time and make it go like this, so that you can learn it and make it work for you much, much faster. It makes having to figure it out all on my own without help so much easier, and especially if that was you, my goodness, you wouldn't have to worry about the trial and error. And now technology has caught up with the need as well. So what used to take me several hours, I now can get done with fresh new results in no more than an hour, usually less. So here's a sample of what you get. You learn how to use a source. You'll learn what a source is, to create any arrangement you need so that you can grow a library of sources that you can use to recreate your arrangements for others in a matter of minutes. Let me give you an example. So say you can't get a copy of a Christmas song or something like that. So you acquire it from a source. We talk about how to do that. And you create a lead sheet on your computer, and from there, you're able to use that lead sheet to create it for so-and-so who needs it for tuba, so-and-so who needs it as an accompaniment for voice, and so-and-so who wants to play it as a string quartet with their friends. In minutes you can have that go into the printer for them, okay? So then we have to understand what you legally can and cannot arrange. But technically you can arrange anything. It depends on what you do with those arrangements. So that way you can rest assured that you're not going to get in any trouble with copyright law. You can see real-time arranging happen by me of songs in a bunch of different formats for different needs and different instruments so that you can arrange music for anyone, no matter what you teach. Learn to take a source and orchestrate it for entire ensembles, large ensembles, and you can save a boatload of money then in score purchases. Like, what if your budget for new score purchases at your school goes down? Like, what do you do? What if you get this request to have to play a certain something? What do? You don't have maybe the time to, maybe go through it the old way. You need a system that's going to get you that fast. So, don't just take my word for it. If you want to do your homework, you can actually find, like Google my name, it's going to come up. I've made dozens of arrangements that students can use again and again. And on one such music arrangement sales site, I have arrangements uploaded that I do make money on. And you can find them and you can buy them so you can see them. And my goodness, I think I have probably a couple dozen more that I haven't even taken the time to upload yet. Because while I create these courses for you guys and work on up-leveling your music, I'm still teaching. I'm still arranging pieces for my students a few different times a year. I'm arranging all sorts of stuff. Usually in May. I usually have about a dozen new arrangements coming out. Yeah, I know, it's amazing, right? I haven't even put those up on the site yet to start selling them. What am I waiting for? I'm waiting for time. This is more important first. Anyways, let me not get sidetracked here. So, before you get started here, let me ask you a question. Would you like to get access to stress-free, time-saving, and money-making music arranging? For less than $160, you can get access to everything inside of stress-free, time-saving, and money-making music arranging. Now, while it would be impossible to show you all the benefits of stress-free, time-saving, and money-making music arranging, I want to show you some of the things that you'll experience as soon as you get inside and take a look. You'll get instruction for how to acquire a source. Real-time instruction for creating arrangements so you can see how little time it actually takes. Tutorials on how to use a music publishing program. Instruction on score writing. An introduction to percussion writing. Thorough explanation of how music copyright works for educators and music educators. A tour of the top online music publishing sites just to see how they work and how they work for you. And there's bonuses too on top of all that. So bonus number 1, actual examples of how to take a source and turn it into any kind of arrangement. It's a $507 value because of just where it could take you. And sometimes, how much money that could save you in new score purchases. Clear explanation of music educator copyright law. So the explanation is maybe worth $67, but maybe it's actually worth thousands of dollars of avoided fines in value. Bonus number 3, guided instruction of music publishing programs. It's a $219 value because, say you were to take a really thorough class in it, that could be kind of costly. So the total value of all this is kind of priceless, or several $100s. Why? Because people sometimes quit their day jobs to be full-time arrangers. So literally, people who were music teachers that maybe are looking for a change, maybe all they do is sit back and watch the money come in because they've uploaded a bunch of arrangements and they're doing very well with it. Yeah, that could be your next career. And yes, I am going to show you how to do that too. There is an entire module on exactly how to do that. I have not done it yet, but I know how. I just haven't. I've taken a different path. That's why Up Level You Music exists. But you could, especially if you found you enjoyed it enough. So if all this did, though, was to show you how to get a quick skill that sets your instruction apart from others, would that be worth it? Say you didn't want to become a full-time arranger. Say suddenly the neighborhood caught wind that you create your students' custom pieces and they want to study from you too because, oh, nobody else does that. How cool is that? I get to play what I want. Yay. Would that be worth it? And the amount of new students and student retention you can make from that? I think so. So Even if all this did was to help your negative emotions around arranging just totally disperse and have you have a totally different opinion on the value of that, would that be worth it? Yeah, of course it would. I mean, how fun would it be to have students actually play the thing you wrote? I mean, I enjoy that. It's very satisfying. So I'm not going to charge you several $100s for this system. That would be silly. I don't need to, because I have it all in a nice system for you to get, and it's only $157. Worth it for all of that possibility for you. But I am also going to let you know that you really should be acting now on this, because right now your students are probably missing out on some of the most fun playing opportunities, and only you can give them that. What's the next thing that they're preparing for? Does your studio do recitals? Does your school do concerts? You want something fun and different and custom that really isn't going to take you a whole lot of time to get? You will probably save hundreds of each year in new music purchases, and some of it that you purchase may not actually be good choices for your students. Have you ever wasted money buying something that your students just really aren't going to respond very well to? Avoid that. Create your own instead. And each day that your arrangements aren't listed on an online catalog is technically lost passive income for you. Who doesn't want passive income, right? That's how the gazillionaires do it. Why not you? You can. So just imagine what life would be like when you know how to arrange music legally, and maybe even turn it into an investment. So click the join button below right now, and you're going to be taken to the secure order form, and after you put your credit card information in, you'll be taken to a secure members area where you can access stress-free, time-saving, and money-making music arranging. Even if it's the middle of the night, even if it's like early in the morning, on demand, whenever you need. So for those that are about ready to sign up, here's what you're going to expect. You'll see a prompt to create an account with Uplevel U, especially if you're brand new to the site and all that it has to offer. Or if you've already created an account with Uplevel U Music, then all you have to do is log in. You're going to be taken to a secure checkout page. And then after that, once the payment goes through, you immediately get access to the course, and then you can start your new journey with all of this, and maybe even the next chapter of your music career. So I do have a warning though. I gotta be blunt. If you pass up this offer, are you going to succeed with music instruction? Yeah, of course. I'm not saying you're a bad teacher. It has nothing to do with this, of course. But are you going to succeed on that level, that you get students to play exactly what they want while learning what you need them to learn? You have the power to do that. But if you don't create students the music they need, and it doesn't have to be everything, it's more supplemental stuff that I usually use this for, and I encourage you to do the same. But when the time comes that you need to deviate from those method books and that regular standardized instruction, whatever it is, you might keep struggling with music selection, not finding the correct level for them, or not finding something that's going to keep them engaged in what they want too. And, if you don't figure out the legalities and logistics of copyright law, who knows what could happen then, So, and then to think, with this system, you can then turn it into an investment and make some income on the side. How cool is that? Most of what you need is instruction and encouragement from somebody who's definitely been there, who's definitely done that. You can see the evidence right there. Just Google my name. It's there. It's legit. And I can help you do that. So get this online course now and get the success that you want. Don't wait another moment. So as a reminder, you're going to get stress-free, time-saving, and money-making music arranging. You'll get instruction for how to acquire the source that allows you to create these arrangements super quickly. Real-time instruction for creating arrangements to see how little time it actually can take. Tutorials on how to use a music publishing program, and I do have a favorite, and it's free. You don't have to buy it. Instruction on score writing, and introduction on how to write percussion, even if you're not a percussionist. Thorough explanation of how music copyright for music educators works, and a tour of the top online music publishing sites so that you can understand how they work and not get overwhelmed or question their legitimacy in the online world. Actual examples of how to take this source and turn it into any arrangement you want. Clear explanation of that music educator copyright law to avoid any kind of issues with fines or anything like that. Guided instruction of music publishing programs. And, never before have you had such a unique opportunity to have me take you by the hand and help you with music arranging in a legal way, a legit way, to even turn it into an investment. So act now so that you have that easy way to customize sheet music for your students, to understand the legalities of custom arrangements, and the ability to create arrangements quickly, efficiently, and for multiple performance settings, just like I do all the time in my studio. Get this online course and change your career forever for the better, and change your students' experiences forever also. It could be a priceless offer, especially with the amount of career investment and income investment this could get you. But the price for this is $157. So why even question it? So get it now before that price is no longer the same price. Act fast, and I cannot wait to see how you get results from this. I can't wait for you to be a part of this community that is jumping on board and we're using music arrangements to work for them. I will see you there.